The penultimate college football playoff rankings have set the stage for what could be a dramatic weekend of conference championship games, with the final playoff field still very much in flux. As of now, at least 8, possibly 9, teams have locked up spots, meaning the final rankings should be relatively straightforward, provided the favorites take care of business over the weekend. But don't be fooled, there's plenty of drama still lurking. The most significant game that could throw the entire playoff race into chaos is the ACC Championship game between number 8 SMU and number 17 Clemson. The Tigers, having sneaked into this spot with some help from number 12 Miami and number 22 Syracuse, could upend the playoff picture by beating SMU and snatching a fourth playoff bid away from the SEC. It's a scenario that could dramatically shift the final bracket and leave the SEC in a tighter spot. Another game with playoff implications is in the Mountain West, where number 10 Boise State takes on number 20 UNLV in a crucial rematch. The outcome of this game will help decide the Group of Five's highest-ranked team, with the winner potentially earning a playoff spot. However, even if UNLV wins, they'll likely still need the SEC and Big 12 to settle their championship games in specific ways to secure a playoff spot. But it's not just the underdogs in these conference championships that are generating headlines. The biggest takeaway from Tuesday night's rankings came in the form of Ohio State, which dropped just 4 spots after losing to rival Michigan. The Buckeyes now find themselves in a position to host an opening round playoff game despite finishing 4th in the Big Ten. The committee seems to have valued Ohio State's marquee wins over number 3 Penn State and number 9 Indiana, which helped offset their season-ending loss. Ohio State's resume also holds up better when compared to number 7 Tennessee, whose losses to Arkansas and Georgia hurt their case. For Alabama, sitting at number 11, the committee's decision to keep them ahead of number 14 South Carolina is key. Despite Alabama's underwhelming season, the Tide remains next in line for a playoff spot if one opens up, especially if Clemson wins the ACC. That would leave SMU in contention for an at-large bid, and 2 ACC teams in the playoff field would mean just 3 SEC teams, shuffling Alabama to the outside. But Alabama's strength of schedule, including a solid 3-1 record against ranked teams, has kept them in the conversation, and it would take a dramatic upset to knock them out. On the flip side, UNLV's rise to number 20 has put them in a position to potentially become the highest-ranked Group of 5 champion. This is crucial for both the playoff and the Group of 5 race, as they could secure an at-large spot by winning the Mountain West, even though they would miss out on an opening round bye. That spot would likely go to the Big 12 winner, further cementing the importance of Boise State's game. While there's plenty of excitement among the teams looking to punch their playoff tickets, there are also significant losers emerging from the latest rankings. Army, for example, has seen its playoff hopes all but evaporate. After a close loss to number 4 Notre Dame and Tulane's loss to Memphis, Army's chances for a Group of 5 bid have dwindled. The Black Knights now find themselves 4 spots behind UNLV and will need a conference championship win and a dramatic shift in the rankings to make it to the field. Still, there's a glimmer of hope, as Army has a chance to secure their first-ever conference title before facing off with rival Navy in the final game of the regular season. South Carolina, meanwhile, has been one of the hottest teams in the SEC, but their playoff dreams have hit a wall. Despite a 6-game win streak, including 3 victories against ranked teams, the Gamecocks' losses to Alabama and number 13 Mississippi leave them with too many hurdles to overcome. With a 9-3 record and impressive wins, South Carolina could have been a dangerous playoff team, but the head-to-head losses to the Tide and Rebels ultimately leave them on the outside looking in. As we head into conference championship weekend, the race for the 12-team college football playoff is more wide open than ever. With a few key results, the final rankings could look very different, But the reality is that the SEC and Big Ten continue to dominate the landscape, while teams from other conferences are left fighting for the scraps. Whether it's Ohio State's playoff hopes, Alabama's lingering chance to sneak in, or the potential for SMU and UNLV to make history, the drama is only just beginning. This weekend will likely determine the final pieces of the puzzle, but don't expect the playoff picture to be completely settled until the final whistle blows.